Charlie loved this country, and he loved partnering with organizations that truly stand for what makes America great. One of our most trusted partners, AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is doing something special in Charlie's honor. AMAC is offering free memberships to all ages. No credit card, no strings attached, just a chance to stand for faith, family, and freedom. Join this movement. Go to amac.us/Charlie today. That is amac.us/Charlie today. There's another big news story that was near and dear to Charlie's heart.
Oh, this is lovely.
And it's near and dear to Blake's heart. So we're going to hit it at hour one. We're also going to bring Harmeet Dillon from the DOJ Civil Rights Department on at the second half of this hour to talk about it. But that is, of course, the rolling back of disparate impact standards within the DOJ and within the federal government. Blake, what is disparate impact if you had to boil it down?
Alrighty. So disparate impact is, more people are thankfully becoming aware of it, but it's been around for half a century at this point. And disparate impact is sort of the spearhead for a lot of what we'd call the DEI regime, the agenda, the
Diabolical.
DEI dictatorship of America, which is where instead of things coming down to merit, coming down to measurable ability, where we reduce things to quotas, to favoritism, to discrimination based on race or sex or national origin or who knows what. And, I think this is actually a good opportunity to bring in Charlie, because he was talking about this in April when there was a Trump executive order concerning this, and we're going to get to the follow-up in a second. But this was Charlie summing it up. Let's play 236.
In 1971, there was a Supreme Court case, Griggs v. Duke Power Company. Duke Power was sued because for people to get certain jobs at the company, they required them to either have a high school diploma or pass an aptitude test. Black applicants were less likely to have a diploma, and they didn't do as well on the aptitude test. The Supreme Court ruled that Duke's job requirements were, quote, were not justified by business necessity. And so they were illegally discriminatory, and thus the doctrine of disparate impact was born.
So what he's saying there is the idea was this was a neutral test. It was just having a high school diploma or taking this aptitude test. No one could really, there was no one actually coming in and saying, oh, don't hire black people. But they were just less likely to do as well on this test. And the court said, well, we don't think this test is close enough to what you need employees to do at this company. And because it doesn't have an equal outcome between these two groups, it's discriminatory. So it's what took our law from what most people think of when they think of discrimination, where you're deliberately discriminating against people. And they're saying anything you do, if it has an unequal outcome, can be labeled illegal, can be labeled illegal discrimination, can get you sued. And what that's turned into is you essentially anything can be illegal, because newsflash, Andrew, everything has unequal outcomes. Everything in the world. No one actually, I think we have this as well. Let's do 237 before the break.
Literally every standard imaginable has some sort of disparate impact against a group. Nobody on this planet has ever designed a test or a standard that men, women, blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics, Catholic, Jews, gays, straights do so equally well. The very idea is an absurd fantasy. You're going to have different outcomes. But what disparate impact does is it says the test itself is wrong. It is a loophole that you could drive a semi-truck through. It's a little sliver. You say, oh, disparate impact. Oh, what's the big deal here? No. This has been exploited by DEI actors for the last 30 years.
30 years? The last 50 years, really.
Yeah. Well, and again, one of the things I want to get into the next segment is aptitude tests. Mm-hmm. We used to require these to get a job in the federal government, for example. And one of the best examples of this was the NYPD. I brought it up before, class of chiefs, the 1939. Now, this had controversy because they claimed it was anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish. But here's what's interesting. They had so many applicants, they just selected candidates from the top scores on the civil service exam. Far more officers made it to retirement or achieved high rank performance than any other year.